Good day, everybody out there in YouTube land. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's safe and healthy out there. It's another frosty day out in Saskatchewan here. Warm enough. It's above normal temperature. I think it's only about -10. Supposed to be getting freezing rain this weekend, but still lots of frost out here. I'm trying to do a video and my camera keeps screwing up, so I hope it works this time. Hasn't been a whole hell of a lot happening in the CFL anyway. They got their winter meetings, general manager meetings happening. Haven't heard any news out of there whatsoever. I don't know if anybody heard anything. Let me know in the comments. Usually they do rules and all sorts of things. The only thing I heard was injury protocol. That's about it. I think the main thing on Ambrosie's mind seems to be to expand the league to 10 teams. One team out in the Maritimes. I'd like to see it, as long as it's a viable option. You know, I don't want to have another team they end up having to support. You know, with this revenue sharing, which I think is bullshit at the best of times. You know, Roughriders been revenue sharing with them for years, and back in the hard days we had to run lotteries just to stay alive. But yeah, he wants a 10th team somewhere in the Maritimes. Right now he's struggling to keep owners of the teams that we got now. Like Montreal, their owner wants to dump them, I'm sure. Like the one guy's 25%, he stepped down, he was causing too much commotion. And the other 75% owner, he's actually dead. And the estate owns the club, as far as I know. And then I heard that Toronto might change hands too. So how can you get another team struggling to find owners now? And the thing I really can't figure out is, you know, this country of Canada is not short of billionaires. You know, there's got to be a lot of guys out there with deep pockets. They're just not interested in owning a CFL franchise. You'd think there would be some interest, but doesn't seem to be. The CFL needs to start promoting way more. Somehow get the salary cap up too for players, because we're losing more and more players all the time. Can't keep them here, can't draw the interest to come up from the States and play in the CFL. The NFL, all you need to get is a practice roster, and you can make more on the practice roster sitting on your butt, and you can't coming up here risking injury in the CFL. Don't blame them. They gotta start finding some guys with deep pockets. Like if the Maritimes start up, they should go knocking on the Irving's door. They pretty well own the Maritimes as far as petroleum. Got their own bloody refinery. Right now, I wouldn't doubt if the Irvings are making more in a week than that it would cost to run the whole CFL for the whole season. Price of gas nowadays is highway robbery. Those energy companies right now, they're just laughing all the way to the bank. And the government doesn't give a shit either, because they don't care. They make more royalties. And their buddies, they look after each other. That's for sure. They're starting to sign a few players from the States. And plus we're losing a few players. Good players. One receiver, I think from Toronto, can't remember his name, but Shake and Bake. Schaefer Baker, he's saying he's got some sort of deal down in the States. Also, you got, all ride's got a squirrel. Where are they, Ride? Come on, you can't get him, he's too high up. Come on, he's too high up. He's too high up, Ride. Come on, he's too high up. Come on, let's go. Don't eat grass. I just wish there was a way to hook up with a compensation deal with the NFL. When we lose players, we're like a training league for them, and we don't get any compensation for these players going down there. Looks like Rorik on BC, he's gonna probably sign down there. He's got a lot of offers. I'm sure one of them is going to be attractive enough that BC can't even come close to matching an NFL deal. The only thing with Rorik is, does he want to play? I don't think he'll be starting or even getting on the field for a couple of years down in the NFL. So it'll depend if you want to just sit around or you want to play. Might be a better option for him to play for a season up here and see if he can light it up, and you might get more options. But then again, you might get injured, and then what? Probably the biggest name so far that's been signed is Purifoy. I'm not even sure he wasn't just released from the BC Lions. I don't know if he was a free agent or not, but once he was announced, it didn't take Jonesy long in Edmonton to put a name on the paper and sign him. He's a handy guy to have. He's a DB that can cover guys one-on-one out of the receivers one-on-one. He's a good tackler, smart football player. I'm not sure how much he signed for, but that was a good signing. Still the top guy that everybody thinks is the top free agent is Bo Levi there. Yeah, I got mixed feelings about him. With salary cap so low in the CFL, when you sign a quarterback for 550,000, yeah, it cuts a long ways into your salary cap for one player. Then if you want a decent receiver like Lewis there, he's up for grabs. We paid Duke too much. Look what happens when you pay big dollars and end up getting nothing for them. But with Bo, yeah, he has to realize that sure he's worth a lot of money, but you gotta let the team sign you some players that can play around you. Otherwise, you're stuck paying a big dollar and not have any backup support. It's like Brady when he played for New England. He told Belichick the year that #1 draft choice out of college was an offensive tackle. And he was definitely a starter right off the bat, the best there was. He said, here, take 10 million off my contract and make sure you use the money for him. That's what happened too. That's the same thing I think should happen with Bo. He's got to realize he can't take the big bucks. There was a reason Hofnagel benched him in the first place. A lot of the sports reporters crying that they benched Cody for 2 games. What would they have been doing? What would they be saying? If it was Bo, they benched him early. But he was throwing more interceptions than he was touchdowns. And Bo, he had those injuries. Shoulder, groin, couple different injuries. So you're gambling signing him too. Yeah, Bo, you won't see him. Watch him. If he starts playing next season, you tell me how many times you see him rush the ball past the line of scrimmage. It's minimal. He knows how to move around the pocket and stay safe and get rid of the ball. But as far as his scrambling ability and quarterback sneaking and any kind of running play for a quarterback doesn't exist when Bo Levi Mitchell is playing. I really think we might end up with probably, I don't think we'll get Harris. I think they're going to keep him in Montreal. I wouldn't doubt if we end up with a retread Evans. He's been around the block. I guess there's something to say about a veteran, having a veteran quarterback. But any veteran that plays here, I'd have him on a short leash. And any opportunity I had to play my backup and rookie quarterbacks, I sure the hell would be putting them in there. We got to develop our own guy somehow. You know, that's what Jonesy likes doing. Yeah, these guys have to start off somewhere. And there's no use sitting there and saying he'll destroy a guy by putting him into the fire. I say baloney to that. These guys that are coming up from the States been playing in big games ever since their high school years. So put them in the fire, see what they can do. Roughriders, they've signed a couple of linemen, supposed to be offensive linemen. They were in the NFL for a few years, but eventually got turfed. But at least they got a lot of NFL experience. They're coming to camp. I'll put their names in the thing. I can't remember what their names were, but there's a couple of them. A couple of DBs and a safety. That's about it. Nothing more off of the free agents list. Like Moss out there, he's gonna have a hard time. He's gonna have a hard time. He hasn't got an owner that's committed. That might make a big difference in seeing if he can sign any players for any kind of cash. They still got that guy that was the coach. Put his name in too. Can't remember. He's the general manager now, so he might be able to call the shots. Supposedly he said he is, but it's never good when you got an owner that's not committed. I would think that he probably gonna try to keep Harris around. He needs somebody. The rumor is he wouldn't mind Fajardo, but I kind of doubt it. I read somewhere that it wasn't him that wanted to pull Fajardo. Well, I don't agree with that. Fajardo, as far as I'm concerned, should have been pulled a lot earlier, just to let him sit on his and watch. Maybe would have got more learning from the sidelines than he was getting picked off in the backfield. But that's about all for now. Can't think of anything else. I hope this works, this damn camera. And I'll get back to you as soon as I got some more news about the world of the CFL. The NFL playoffs is starting. Can't wait. Gonna be some great football this weekend. Tuning in for sure. And we'll see you soon. Go Roughriders, go!